Empty hearts and neon lights. They're playing with my mind.
Hey guys, hello and welcome to day I think 30, 33, 32. Day 33 of making videos. I'm joined today by Sebastian, the leader of the Lil Homies.
Woo!
I've got a bit of echoing going on, that's okay. So I'm going to ask Sebastian, he's got into college starting next year, well starting this year in fact, in August. I'm going to pull up the date right now just to let you know how soon it's coming. It will be August the 24th. So you have March, April, May, June, July. You have 6 months, almost to the day, mate. Probably 6 months, just in a week, till you'll be starting school at Grand Valley. So, first question is, what do you think you'll miss the most about your life in England?
Food, maybe.
What type of food? Like, what do you, more specifically, do you think there's anything particular? What do you eat a lot of right now that you won't be able to eat a lot of?
High quality meat.
High quality meat.
Yeah, we up our meat percentages back these days. You know, we have sausages every week, lamb chops, obviously the Sunday roast every week.
That's really
Every
interesting.
Saturday dinners, homemade burgers. We get a high percentage of meat.
It's funny you should mention that because Kerry actually has me watch this documentary. Give me a couple seconds here. I'll actually pull the name of it up for you. It's a documentary about the beauties and the documentary is called Game Changers. It's on Netflix. I'd really recommend it to you. As much as I can recommend a documentary on Netflix to anyone. It's about the advantages of less meat, or in their case, no meat, as improving your body as an athlete. I'd love to see what you think about it if you ever watched that documentary. Very interesting, actually. Very interesting. It's all about inflammation and how meat, especially red meat, really affects your body negatively.
Yeah, I heard you're supposed to only eat red meat once or twice a week maximum.
Yeah, it's interesting. Did you watch Mark? Do you know who Mark Rober is, the YouTuber?
Yeah, I do know exactly who he is.
Yeah, he just did a video with Bill Gates, and it involved.
I saw that fake meat.
Yeah,
I
fake meat. Yeah, a really interesting video, and he's, I'm at the point where if I could eat fake meat that tasted just the same, and was at least about the same in price. It could be a little bit more expensive. I probably would, but that's just because inflammation is something I struggle with. So if I could lower that and be a more healthy person, I probably would.
So what's pretty incredible, to sidetrack even more, is how much the science is still out on what's good for the human body.
No, I agree.
There are many people, I know Jordan Peterson and his daughter, they do a mainly meat diet. Maybe meat and a bit of vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
They won't go near fruit or carbs.
Yeah, you can get a lot of nutrition that way. I mean, in terms of weight control, it's just all these different diets are just different ways of counting calories. You know, if say you do a carb-only diet, well, you're eating less meat, so you're eating less calories in general. Or if you do meat-only, well, you're eating less carbs, so you're doing less calories.
But they don't just do it to drop calories. They do it for health, for energy, how they feel.
Yeah. But there's so little scientific research behind that. And that's the difference between Game Changers is actually, at least the science behind it is peer-reviewed and published. Huh? There are still, obviously, people feel differently about certain things. But, you can...
Yeah. I think the science is still out because many different people, bodies are different,
Mm-hmm. I would encourage you to, I know I tell this to people all the time, check things out, see how you feel about things, and try something different just in case it works for you. I wouldn't advocate going gluten-free or something because it's actually not very nice. But
bodies are very different.
Yeah. Segueing into the next question, what do you think will change the most about you in a year from now? So if I do this sort of again in February next year.
Oh yeah.
What do you think would change the most about you?
Hope I'll be harder working.
Would you say you're not hardworking right now?
Not really. I don't work. I suppose I'm not as focused. I'm hard working in the sense that when push comes to shove, I will work hard, and I'm capable of working hard, and I don't mind working hard. But I'm not as a focused person in the sense that when you go to college, you have to sit down, focus, not in the sense actual sitting, but steady up, focus on each week, take it as it comes, and really grind.
Um, yeah, I mean, I feel working at Laurie's would make you have a good work ethic. It doesn't make you
Yeah,
harder working. I've got bad news for you that the best way to get harder working is just to become harder working. It's one of those
I
self-fulfilling
know.
prophecies.
Yes.
Um, unless you have a reason to, you won't have to. Obviously,
Yeah.
on this YouTube video, I'm not going to name and shame siblings, but like Joseph and Jemima really, really push for they've got reasons to. They stay competitive even with themselves, and they're competitive to themselves. Look at Joseph and his Rubik's Cube, for instance. Joseph's not competing against any of his siblings for his Rubik's Cube records. He's competing against
Yeah.
himself, but it keeps him competitive to it. And you have to find whatever it is for yourself that keeps you competitive. You have to find it, or else you have to reconcile the fact that you're just not going to get, good grades. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, if you're sitting at home on a Friday night and you've got an exam Monday morning at 8,
You've
and
got to find your own personal.
if you've got no reason to study for that exam, because you don't care what your grade is on that exam, you're not going to spend your weekend studying when it's sunny and Alexander's running soccer on. The number of times Joseph has said no to soccer, more than he should probably, just because he likes to have that good persona where, he says no to it.
Yeah,
Like me
self-sacrifice.
Kerry had some apple strudel last night with vanilla ice cream, and I said no to that. Very difficult.
It is, yeah.
First, what are your biggest challenges and worries day to day right now? And I know right now it might be like non-school stuff, but I don't know. It's only us listening to these things. So like right now,
Yeah.
what are your most like? If you wake up in the morning and say, what's the worst that could go wrong in a day for you?
Uh, we live a pretty chilled life.
Yeah, I really think so too. I wish I could go back to my life there sometimes.
I suppose keeping the parents off our back is probably the only thing I really concern myself with.
Yep.
And not in the sense that dad should be strict on this, but as a child, I try and keep the parents happy. I don't want to come across as lazy or sort of bad in front of the parents. So the only thing I really put any real effort into.
hmm
I wouldn't say I stress about grades or the relationship with Max and Julius. I just put on a good persona as much as I can.
Yep. So I mean, what sort of like daily chores do you have right now that? Because I mean, it's easier in England when food arrives in the house that you didn't pay for. When you come out here, it's a little bit different, and I know that it's different, but
Yeah.
it's not really something you have to worry about as much. I mean, I know you help a lot with making the meals, and like I just heard you guys leave Discord the other day because Tesco arrived. So it's not like you do nothing about that. It's not like it's all gonna magically change. But what do you think will be your worry in a year's time?
Very difficult to judge. If in a year's time Dad's not moved out, my
Oh,
worry
so
would be,
you guys are
will he ever move
you
out?
guys are hoping for the whole father moves out, move back in with father.
Yeah, that's my vision. But if in a year's time he's not out, then I'll be worried if he ever moves out.
Yep.
That's my main worry. But if he has moved out in a year's time, my main worry would probably be, I'll be a child again.
Yeah,
Essentially, like
it's true.
if I move back into Dad's house, I'll stop being an adult in a sense.
Yeah, you will.
I'll move out. I'll still do college, and I'll probably do more with Dad out there because I'll have more time to do things like learn to drive and all these other things. But in a sense, I would be Dad's child again. So I want him to move out.
Yep,
I'm,
I understand
I'm
that.
happy, I'm happy to live under Dad's roof again.
Now, if I was single, I probably would have too. How long do you think it will take you to learn to drive?
If Dad's not out here, I think it'd be quite difficult. We're talking with Jeremy and
I really think you should
it's a big
prioritize it. If it was something I could have. Sorry, your microphone's really cutting out. Can you say all that again?
It's a big priority. I do think it is. Yeah.
I would encourage you to, as best as possibly as you can, learn to drive before winter sets in. I wouldn't suggest learning. Jemima went to take her first test, during the snow, and she crashed on the way to the test. I would not advise you doing that. That radiator took me a long time to replace. A lot of actual man hours getting in there because the radiator in a minivan is quite. You had to take a lot off the car before I could get it. It's difficult. I would definitely encourage you to I mean, do you think, and this is a private question, you don't have to answer this, do you think you'll be moving out with substantial money? Like, would you have a good cash flow when you come here?
Uh,
If you do, I really would encourage you doing what I did, doing what Joseph did, setting up a couple of car appointments with Kerry's dad and just taking him to see 8 of them in one Saturday. Then he'll give you a pick of 3, and you'll ask him what he thinks is best, and you'll go with his decision. That's, for me, that's the best decision you could make with regards to cars. Buy your own car. You've disappeared, are you?
yeah, I know how important it is to get a car and to be able to drive.
I don't know. It just seems to be something that falls by the wayside sometimes.
Well, with Henry and Annabelle, we've got Jeremy and Jemima and Joseph. They've got such older
Yeah,
siblings.
Jeremy
They
doesn't
don't
live
like
there though,
to
which I
help.
mean, I know it's fantastic. He lives as close as he does, and he really can just drive you places. But you have Jemima and Joseph there, and Jemima's time will probably be being less spent at Worcester, as will Joseph's. And if Henry can't drive, you should totally learn to drive. I mean, I'll teach you how to drive. It's actually extremely easy. The hardest part is learning how to go fast. Other than that, it's just practice makes perfect. You don't realize how little you remember of the roads to church until you're like, oh, okay, now I have to drive there. Now that I drive places, I can drive somewhere once and I'll remember it for the rest of my life. It's very strange.
Got dad's genes.
Yeah, but it didn't start that way. When I first started driving, I was like, oh wow, I've been to church already, 70 times out here, and I can't even remember which way the church is. It's surprising how difficult it can be. I don't know, your brain just remembers things differently and it learns to use a map. I don't know. What are you most looking forward to?
Ooh. Well, I'm looking forward, to being away from some people. I'm looking forward to spending time with a lot of other people. I'm looking forward to soccer, church. There's a lot to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
I think responsibility will be a bit fun,
I don't know.
I'm not at all nervous. No, I know it's not going to be easy. I'm not an idiot, but I'm not nervous in the sense that I suppose I feel I've got a lot of support out there. We've got a lot of older siblings, so
Yeah.
I don't really think a lot can go wrong.
No. If you had to choose between playing for my team or Jeremy's team, which would you pick?
I choose both. I really want to start my own team where I'm like the captain. I really want to be like the manager.
Okay, so let me tell you what the hardest part about being captain is, Sebastian. It's demanding $100 off everybody every 2 months. That's the hardest part. In fact, I have someone for that, and her name is Kerry. If you think you'd be a better captain on my team than myself, you'd be in, as long as obviously I could still play, you'd be willing to. I'm not. What do you mean by being captain? I guess is the question I should ask. Choosing who you pick to play with?
No, I want to be involved in a team that is willing to get better.
Okay, well, I'm 100% willing to get better.
I want to be involved.
And I really wish I could get people who were too.
I really want to be involved with a team that's willing to go out. When I played 3 soccer zone matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
I played with Jeremy's team, Lucas's team, and your team, right?
That's right.
And I subbed for your team.
Yeah.
Play. The other 2 games played tire match without subbing once.
Mm-hmm.
So when I played for Jeremy's team, a lot of older personalities on the pitch, Jeremy and Henry.
Mm-hmm.
I was still, of course, loud, and I probably played very well. Got a hat trick. I played defense and strike. But with Jeremy and Henry, sort of, they did their own thing. They do listen to me, but they don't obey in the sense that we were all doing our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that game, I felt there was no real tactic. But when we played on Lucas's team, right, Joseph and Nick were managing. They were both sitting and giving orders, but I was the real leader on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So we set up, me and Julius in defense, and yeah, I really felt that we had a game plan. It was get to Elijah, so it was to really stretch them. Me and Julius really passed really well. And it wasn't that I was in charge, but it was we had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I was out there leading the team through it, and we played them off the park. Joseph will tell you, totally played off the park.
I really wish I had more of that, honestly. I don't have anyone who I play with, other than Kerry and myself, who in their mind, I think they think to themselves, I wish I could get, or what could I do to get better? Like what did I do last game that I'm not going to do this game, or vice versa? It's not a very common position to take.
Yeah, I mean, we had no subs, and they had 3, and then they had the extra player once we went 5 up. But still, it was far too much for them. Half time, we went in, we talked about how we're going to play better, move things around a little bit, got a ball more to Elijah,
Yep.
and we didn't have a great team, but we actually played them off. It was just tactically they couldn't deal with me and Julius playing defense and passing.
Yep.
So I loved that. It was by far my favorite game.
Mhm.
Because we got to win in a way of thinking. You know, we went out there and we outclassed them. Well, Jeremy's game, it was so scrappy. You know, it was a bit aggressive, and they had a terrible defense. So
I wonder. Yeah.
I would want as many turnbuls as possible.
Yeah. So this Monday, we played indoors at Plymouth. You've played a couple times with us, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And Justin, do you remember Justin from Pickup?
Yeah, I do. I know.
He was the captain, and he picked Jeremy, then myself, then Henry. And that was the 4-man team. And you'd think, ooh, you know, could be problems. There's a lot of personalities there, a lot of talking. But we won our first, I think, 7 games.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy was on fire. When Jeremy can shoot, and I can pass, and Henry can finish. Like, I think Henry and I, so it's 1 goal, right? So, you know, you score a goal, the game's over, on to the next team. I think Henry and I got like 3 corners. Where we call it the Plymouth routine. It's where Henry runs into the box and he swings his foot, and I hit the ball. I hit him with the ball. He doesn't see it coming. You can't. I'm firing it in so fast. But yeah, he scored like 3, and then people just stopped letting him like move properly.
Yep.
It's really good.
Lazy.
No, I'd love that. Kerry and I both like want to keep improving, want to keep the quality going up. I just been talking today actually to Dan Slaughter, and he said the quality of playing at MSA, which is the other sports arena in Grand Rapids, is so much lower than at Soccer Zone. So I know we're playing at the highest possible tier, the highest possible league in Grand Rapids right now, at least for indoor.
Yeah.
Outdoor is very, very different. But right, this last 2 seasons, we've just been played off the field by so many younger teams that are worse than us because strategically people aren't thinking about what they're doing, and it's extremely irritating to Kerry and myself.
Yeah,
It's not bad players necessarily. It's just not a willingness. So say we spend the first half and we go 3-1 down. It's not a willingness to think to themselves, okay, guys, how are we going to change it so the second half isn't 6-2? You know, what needs to change? Okay, they're always pressing us. So actually, let's, this case, send someone deep, let them stay deep, and do a long ball over the top. There's some other simpler things, like mistakes that I make, mistakes that other people make for me. For instance, I often run deep and yell at Nick, you know, I'm here, where I am, you know, Nick, yell Nick, you know, and he throws me the ball. The problem is, when I yell Nick, the 2 defenders both jump to me as one of the midfielders moves back to cover that throw. At that point, Nick should never throw it to me.
Yep.
And my yelling at him is not an insistence that he plays it. I'm just giving him an option.
Yep.
And not enough players on my team have give him other options. If Joseph's not on the field and Kerry's in defense and marked by another girl, he doesn't realize go to somebody else, or someone else needs to yell to him too. If all 5 of us are yelling, they can't mark all 5 of us. If it does, then you drop it down to your feet and start moving with it up the field. We really need more dynamic players.
Yep. There are 2 types of tactics in Soccer Zone. There's the tactical one, which I obviously like to play, and it's just brute force, fitness, and run the ball down, which a lot of the very best teams play. All the best teams play that.
Correct. You have to have that as well as the extra.
The reason the tactical one is the hardest to play is with the tactical one, it's essential your players have high levels of ability, not fitness. As in Joseph's young team, the one he coaches, he tries to play a tactical game, tries to, spread his players out, feed the balls in. The reason it doesn't work is, no offense to his players, but players like Dolphin Campen can't take a touch, they can't pass it, they don't see the through ball, they don't see Elijah sees the run, he sees the through ball, he's got the touch and the ability, But that's why when they had Max in there, just a little bit of, that little bit of quality means you can play the tactic.
Hmm.
So that's why when me and Julius played on Lucas's team, we were both centre backs because we had that ability just to see the pass.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want to play a tactical game, everyone's got to be able to take a touch. Everyone's got to be able. You need an even team. You don't need one good player who's faster than everyone else and stronger than everyone else. So I don't think co-ed is the place. No offense to the girls that play. I don't think co-ed is the place for a tactical game.
Yeah, you have to learn. I think in the lower leagues of the problem with men's football there is it's Mondays and Wednesdays, both of which are big days for other events too out here,
Yeah.
like church, prayer meetings on Wednesdays, and choir and other things are on Monday nights. Funny you should also. This very minute, Kerry just messaged me with the message: we are literally very bottom of the A League. Well, very relevant. No, it's just finding that number of guys who are able to physically compete in A League is very, 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 very difficult. The top A League teams aren't just amazing physically, and they're not perfect physically, but they aren't just amazing physically. They always have a weaker player, and you can usually spot who they are before the end of the game. The top A teams are amazingly dynamic, and they've played together like DHE. They've played together for so many years that even though they're all 10 to 20 years older than everyone else they're playing against, it feels like they've got a man over on you, even though these guys aren't even that fit. Because their movement is so good.
It's what us Turnbulls do.
Yeah. I'd love to do an all guys team. I'd love to do an all Turnbull team, co-ed. But again, it'd have to be people. It's the ability to want to improve. That's why, Sebastian, really this year I'm putting a huge push into my fitness, because my A League game isn't going to improve anymore unless I'm actually a fitter individual.
I mean, Turnbulls are great together. We're also terrible together. So it's about getting that.
Yeah, it's left on the pitch for me. Like if someone misses a shot, once we're off, like we had that a couple times on Monday night. We missed a sitter. I missed a sitter through in goal. Henry missed a sitter. But once we're off, once we've lost, well,
Turnbulls don't care about lack of ability. They care about lack of decision making, though.
Or lack of caring.
No, it's decision making. I don't care if Jeremy shoots wide. I really care if he's shot.
It depends where the shot was from.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean.
Yep, and you care if they don't care that they missed. Yeah, well that's about long enough. Oh, we've actually been talking for 22 minutes or so, 20 minutes. Thank you very much, Sebastian. Good luck with the rest of and obviously, when are you hoping to come out? Do you know?
I'm thinking just after Greece, so early May.
Oh, very nice. Good choice, because you've got the whole summer here.
Yeah, maybe some of the children.
Well, maybe I'll just do a summer league with just a Turnbull summer league.
Do they do summer leagues?
They do. There's only 6 games. They're short little leagues. Like 6 games is one league.
Yeah, I'd like to try my hand at that. I was hoping that maybe I can institute, maybe with some of Jeremy or Henry or Joseph, get that team to train during the summer and just to go.
So I know I haven't announced this yet, but I'm going to start a Thursday night. So once this league finishes and we don't sign up for the next one, like maybe early summer, like April, May week, I'm going to start a public Thursday night training session.
Just throughout the summer, yeah.
Saturday pickup, Monday pickup, Saturday night, Thursday night training. I'll bring a bunch of balls. We'll have some goals, some goalies, some cones. You can train by yourself. You can train with us.
Yeah, I'm interested in training goalkeeping again this summer. I think I can try my hand at it.
Because the most important thing for us, Sebastian, would be to have a goalkeeper who's good with their feet too. Because when we play against the very best teams and we press, when we had Nathan, we had an incredibly good physical pressing. So all 5 of us press all 5 of their outfield players. Well, guess what? Goalie dribbles.
Yeah. That's what makes Ryan Foy so good. He can throw, and also Dan Slaughter. His kicks and throws are incredible.
Yeah. Well, thanks for chatting, Sebastian. I'll catch you later on Discord, I'm sure. Have a good night.
Okay, see you in a bit.